Hello, everyone, and welcome to my house. Welcome to episode 80 of Six Figure Live. My name is Ben Hartley with Style and Story Creative and Six Figure Photography, and I'm here at my house. I'm here in the playroom with my daughter. You guys, I wasn't able to come on right when I wanted to. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get an episode out at all today because I'm just so crazy busy, and I just had to come in and talk very quickly about this. So I'm going to be speaking at United. Oh, you love you, or I love you. Yeah. I'm going to be speaking at United in a week, and so I'm trying to get so much out the door before I leave. Victoria Ben Adams, what's up? I'm trying to get a ton out the door before I leave for this conference. And so my whole day was just like head down, trying to get stuff done. And there's really two reasons. Again, I'm trying to get stuff out the door before I leave. But then as well, I've got I leave the office right at 4 o'clock so I can get home and take care of this little girl and hang out with her and help my wife out and have dinner together. And that's so freaking important to me. And I know that there's so many other photographers out there that are in the same situation where you're trying to balance it all. You're trying to build your business and you're trying to provide well for your family and yet still spend time with your family, still spend time with your babies and your husbands or your wives. Carolina, what's up, girl? Lindsay Lemons. It's so good to see you, Lindsay. Right? Like that's the reason why we've started this business is to be able to create artwork, but then as well to have a business that gives us flexibility in life. And so that's so freaking important to me. And so I just had to actually, I was dedicated to just getting everything that I needed to get done today. And so I was like, look, there may be a sacrifice that I might not be able to get episode 80 out to you guys. And yet here I am still, because I wanted to give a shout out to 3 companies that really helped me to do it. And I don't get things for saying this, but I just had to say, Shoot That Edit has really saved the day, especially this week. I was able to get to them. Today I got them a 3-day long Indian wedding, and so I was able to upload each of those days, and just they've so helped to keep things moving forward, to help us keep up with all of the work that we have. And so Shoot That Edit has been critical for allowing me to do what we do, for learning our style of editing, for giving me amazing images and getting me out the door on time. So Shoot That Edit, and then so today I uploaded 2 weddings to Shoot That Edit, and then as well I've got a premiere date tomorrow. And so a premiere date tomorrow means I'm going to be presenting an album to a client, and so I got into Fundy software. And Fundy, just a huge shout out to Fundy. They allowed me to design a 200-page album so freaking fast today in like under 20 minutes. And so that was incredible. And so I'm bringing this up because you guys are often asking, how do you do it all? How do you balance this? How do you scale things up? And a lot of it is being really intentional about outsourcing your work in a cost-effective way. And so the cost effectiveness of Shoot That Edit and of Fundy combined has been really, really freaking awesome. Ben Adams is watching right now and he knows we couldn't do what we do without those 2. And then the other one too is I had a premiere date last week, and so I had to order an album. And so a big shout out to Miller's for being able to get an album out the door like so freaking fast. And so there's a bunch of companies that really help us to do what we do, and I don't even have time to shout them all out today, but those are the 3 that I used today that really save the day. And I guess the bonus one, you guys, bonus one, and this is most important of all, is like Ben Adams, Stephen Lowe, and my good friend Cole, right? These are the guys that keep me on track. What I'm talking about is surrounding yourself with people, not being in isolation, right? When you're in isolation, it's so easy to get distracted. When you're in isolation, Facebook tab is always open, Netflix is always open. You know your biggest weaknesses, and you're going to keep going back to them, okay? When you're surrounded with amazing people that keep telling you and keep asking you questions and keep encouraging you and holding you accountable to move forward, it's invaluable, you guys. Please don't do this in isolation. I understand that many of you don't have a team that you get to work right alongside, but maybe there's some sort of crew of local photographers that you guys can get together and work on things together at the same time, or at least hold each other accountable. Honestly, when I say hold each other accountable, I literally mean that. There was a time when I had Cole shoot me a text, or rather he had me shoot him a text each time I actually got up at 5:30 in the morning to start getting things done. And he helped hold me accountable to that. And it sounds, I don't want it to sound like super what's the right word here? Confining or like tense or like, wow, that's really strict or that's really intense. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, it is for great reason, though. It's intentional and it's intense because it's worth it, because I want to have a successful business and I want to be a great dad, right? So it is freaking worth it. And it can be intense, but be intentional about your time, you guys. And so big thank you to Ben Adams, big thank you to Stephen Lowe, big thank you to Cole Utsi for just showing up and keeping me up to date. You know, like the amount of times I get emails from these guys, they're like, hey, did you do that thing yet? Did you do that thing yet? Like, I know my weaknesses. I know the things I suck at, and they help me to keep up to date. So anyhow, that's bonus, you guys. That's bonus. So hold on, I got to quickly read this. Carolina, their turnaround, dude, Carolina. And Miller's turnaround time, it cannot be beat. It literally can't be beat. There's not a faster album company out there that does the quality of work that they do. So I'm glad that you've had the same experience, girl. Valerie, hey Ben, just starting using Shoot.edit. When you got your photos back from them, did you continue to add your own filters or stylized tweaks to the photos, or deliver the photos as is when you got them back? I like the color profile generator for an overall general color correction. Just curious how other users use them in the workflow. Valerie, that's a great question that a lot of people have questions for. Typically what you'll do is you'll get, from Shoot.edit, you'll get a normalized image back. So you'll choose a profile that fits well with your brand, with your aesthetic that you like. When I say normalized image, I'm talking about color correction, tint, hue saturation, color temperature, warm, cool, and then exposure for the right exposure that you like. And then if there's a style then that you add to that that's going to maybe do something with curves or clipping or something along those lines that you could do on top of it. I think a big thing here is to manage expectations, to understand that, well, I guess two thoughts is. One is, no matter what happens, I'm going to be looking at every single picture that comes back from whatever company, just for the own sake of quality control, to make sure that my client is not getting something that I have not personally seen and given my stamp of approval. On top of it, I do I do spot removal and skin retouching on every picture of the bride and groom. And so that's something that I'm not going to have somebody else do. I know my bride and groom. I know the blemishes, the things that they don't like about themselves or whatever, so I'm going to do that on top of it. So I'm already going to be looking at all those images. I think the trick here is to know that what you're getting back is a normalized image, and then to be able to develop your own preset on top of it that's not going to mess with those fundamental elements, right? I think a lot of people get into the trouble of creating a preset that changes exposure, changes color temperature, changes tint, changes all these things that essentially negate the normalized image. And so your preset should be something that is going to take a normalized image, not mess with the essentials, and do something to it that gets it closer to your style. So and I think that's something where I think a lot of times we as photographers, we want someone to be able to do it all and to come back with this perfect image that we don't have to ever look at. And I think there's also balancing realistic expectations with that. That all being said, I'm working on some cool things within that we'll talk a little bit more about later when I'm allowed to talk about it. So we'll get to that later. But you guys, I'm going to go. I got to go be a dad. You already saw her. She already left the room. I got to find out where my daughter went. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be a normal episode. I have a premiere date tomorrow. We'll see if it gets done in time. And then I'll come to you guys hopefully live at 1, let you know how it goes. And, oh, Carolina! Thanks, Carolina. Appreciate you correcting me there. I apologize. Names and pronunciation is not my strong suit. I'll get better. Thanks, Carolina. Bye, everybody. Cheers.